Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Allgeier again, and I just wanted to let you know that I received the nicest email yesterday from Killian's mom, and I'm so excited because he's been doing a really great job. He's been doing things like having Tuesday movie night with popcorn, and he's been helping with walking the dog and cooking. He's helping his mom cook, which is really great. And he's working on a lot of schoolwork. So this week, the Golden Star Award goes to Killian because he's been very, very busy to do really great things at home and help his parents out. And in fact, he even played the memory game that I showed you the other time on the video. So that's really fun. And he sent such a nice video too, and he showed me one of his toys, and I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you, Killian. And Killian, you get the gold star today. Thanks for doing that great work, and keep sending me those emails and videos. I just love it. Congratulations, Killian. Now today we're going to make something. Now in the classroom, we have those fun socks, remember? That we like to throw around and play games with, like I'll throw the sock to you and you have to say a letter or a number or read the word or say the sound of a letter. Remember how we have those socks and they're really cool? Do you remember when Mrs. Rivenberg made them with you? That was like a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was Mrs. Rivenberg's idea. Remember those socks and we'd throw them out and you'd throw them back? Well, they're really called sensory rice bags if you want to get technical. So I was going to show you how you could make one at home with your mom and dad because I know you really liked them. I like them too. So one of the first things you would need in order to make this is something called, what is it? Well, it's a funnel, but it's going to be a different kind of a funnel. This is something that you could put things in the top and it gets smaller and goes into a small area down here. But this one is too small. This is the only one I had at the house. So I had to make a funnel and I was going to show you how to do it because we're going to need it for the activity. So if you have a water bottle, it can be a little one or a big one. And if you don't have either one of those, it's okay to try like a small soda bottle, but this plastic is harder and will be harder to cut because you're going to need to ask one of the adults at your house if they would cut the bottom of this off to make a funnel. So I'll show you. For instance, if you ask an adult, they could take a pair of scissors. Oh, I know that's a crinkly noise. And the adult can cut the bottom off. Uh-oh, that went flying. Do you see? So now we've made, this is kind of a long funnel. And if you were to do the same thing with the small one, you'd have a short funnel. So I've already cut it. So you need to have a funnel. And an adult needs to do that for you. So I'm going to put that over here. The other thing you're going to need is a sock. Now, here are the socks at my house that have volunteered to be a rice sensory bag. It doesn't matter what you use. You could use like these. This is a short one. Or you could use, this one's longer, like a long sock. It could be a boy sock or a girl sock, a mom sock or a kid sock or a dad sock, any kind of old sock that your mom says is okay to use. You have to ask her though, because it's very important. She doesn't want you taking your good socks for a sensory rice bag, right? So I'm going to pick this one first. So this is just a little short sock. Now, in order to make the sensory rice bag, we need to fill the sock up with something. What do you think we're going to put in it? That's right, rice, if you have it. Now, do you put in cooked rice or rice that has not been cooked? Do you know? Right, the one that's not been cooked. Maybe something like this. It comes in a bag and they're hard little pieces. And we're going to put some of that in here. And I'm going to use my funnel. Since it's a short sock, I'm going to use the short bottle. And you could always cut a big bottle to be shorter too. Well, not you, but your adult in your family. So I am going to put the funnel, look, inside the sock and pull the sock up a little bit. So the little end is inside. And you can see the big end here. Now, very important, before you pour this, you need to make sure I'm on a tray, so in case I spill it, because it could happen, then it will stay in one area and won't be all over the place, because this is really hard to clean up. And of course, I'm sure your parents are going to be helping you with this, because if you did this by yourself, it might be a tremendous mess and then you'd probably get in trouble. So I'm taking scissors. I'm sorry, my scissors are so large, I do not know where the small ones are. But this will do for now, and I'm an adult, so I got this. I'm going to take the rice bag. Now, you might have rice at home that's already open. This one is not open. So I am going to just cut a corner so it's not a giant hole. And of course, I'll put that in the trash later. So I have the rice, and guess what I'm going to do with it next? That's right, I'm going to put it in the sock. Let's see how this goes. I might spill it a little, but I have a tray, so if it goes anywhere, it'll be easy to clean up. So I'm holding up my sock that has the funnel, and I'm going to pour carefully the rice. Now, I guess it depends how much you want in there. Let's check it. Being careful. Well, that has about that much in it. Maybe I'll put just a little bit more. There's really no exact amount. It's just whatever you'd sort of like in there. I'm going to put a little more. Oh, don't spill it. And did you hear it, how it was kind of clinkety clink? That's because this rice has not been cooked. It's just regular old rice. So I'm going to put that here. Make sure that it's all out of my funnel. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look what I have got. Now, what do we need to do in order to close this up? Well, there's a few things you could do. You could take a string and tie it, or a shoelace and tie it really tight, because you don't want it to open, because, oh my goodness, will it be a giant mess. Or, what I'm going to do is take a hair tie. There they are. They're hiding from me. I wonder if I can tie it first. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? I'm going to do that. Did you see what I did? Ask an adult. This might really lock it in. I kind of stretched it and making just like a knot so that we're super careful that this rice doesn't go flying in the house. Ooh, like that. And just to be safe, I'm going to put a hair tie. You don't have to, because actually that sort of holds that in there, doesn't it? Maybe we should just do that. Well, I like to be safe, so I'm going to put a hair tie on it as well. And of course your family can help you with this. Twist it so it's tight on there. There we go. And look, I've made a rice bag. So now it's sort of like a bean bag. You can throw it. Maybe your sister or your brother and you could throw it back and forth and play a game like you say the letters A, B, C, D. Or remember how we did a game where we picked a category, like I'd say something in the kitchen and I'd throw you the bag and you'd have to say the sink or the refrigerator or a spoon. Things like that. You could play categories with it. You could play counting. You could count all the way to 100. Or you could even play this by yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. I won't go all the way to 100 because that would take a really long time. You can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You could do all kinds of stuff with this. And that's kind of fun. You can push it around and it's kind of fun. You know what? What happens if you don't have rice at your house? Well, maybe you could use something else. I have some other ideas. I've got this. Maybe you have this at your house. Does anybody know what that is? Let me get a little closer. These are peas, dry split peas. They're not the kind in the can that are wet, because if it's wet, it's just going to soak through and be disgusting. So maybe we could make one with peas. Let's do that. Let's take one of the big tall ones. Should we do this one or? Well, let's do this one. I'm going to take a big tall one. This one's going to end up having a big long tail because this is kind of a short shrimpy guy, isn't he? So let's try this one. So I am going to put, because it's the long sock, I'm going to put my long funnel in there. So I'm putting the small piece in first. And let's get it in there. Ooh, it's crinkling. Now I'm going to kind of scrunch it up a little bit so I can be sure that it's going to go down to the bottom. All right, so I'm taking this. This is not open. This was only $1 at Walmart. And then I'm going to cut the end because it's easier if it's just a little tiny piece like that. And let's pour it in here. Ready? Ooh, listen to that. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Out of control. Well, let's, oh no, see, I just spilled some. Thank goodness I have the tray. That'll be an easier cleanup. I'm going to put a little bit more in. And let me put it over here. And I think that's all I want in there. So I'm making sure that the funnel's clear. I'm taking that off. And I think you should go ahead and do that knot. I think that would probably be your best bet. So ask your big brother or your mom or someone to kind of just put like a knot in it to make sure that those peas don't go flying. And of course, because I'm a safety conscious person, I'm taking another hair tie and I'm just gonna put it on here just to be safe. Because I know how rough sometimes people can be and I don't want it to burst open. Oh, that's another thing to think about. Don't pick a sock that has a big hole in it. Why? Well, if it had a big hole in it, the peas or the rice would just be coming out, like pouring out. Oh no, that would be a big problem. There we go. That should be good. And like I said, you don't need to have hair ties. I'm gonna keep calling them that. You could put a zip tie on it, like that might be in your trash bags. Or you could put a yarn or shoelace on there just to make it tight. Now look at this one. This one's bigger. And look at this very long tail it has. So you could actually maybe throw it by the tail, as long as you're careful, throw it and play academic games, of course, with it. Maybe you could say, name an animal, and then your brother has to catch it and say, a pig, and then you throw it to your sister and she says, a cat, and then you throw it to your mom and she says, a zebra. See, won't that be fun? Those are fun games to play with the sensory rice bags. Now this one feels a little different. Why does it feel different? You remember? I'm going to give you a hint. Remember, one sock had this. And what did the other sock have? One had rice and one had peas. Well, I was just wondering, this might be kind of silly, but I just was wondering, what would happen if we made another one with something else that's kind of strange? Well, I have a box of macaroni. Can you see that? It's not the big ones, not those big noodles, but these are the small noodles. I wonder what that would feel like. I'm going to experiment because you might not have peas or rice at your house. You might have macaroni. That'd be funny. Let's see what happens if we make a sock out of that. Now I've got a lot of stuff here. Let me just move some of this over here. That's better. Oh, and there's my mess I'll have to clean up later. And I guess I don't need the scissors. Let's put them away. Let's make a long one. Why not, right? So I'm going to make a long one, and I'm going to fill it with macaroni. The only thing you want to put in these socks are things that are dry. You don't want to put anything wet or full of crumbs, like don't fill it with crackers because that'd be nasty. That'd be all, you'd get all crunched up and they wouldn't be very good in there, stuff like that. And certainly don't fill it with dirt because we're not making dirt bags. We're making sensory rice bags. If there was dirt in there, the grains of dirt are so small it'd probably come out through the sock and leave a dirt trail in your house, and then, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That's not good. All right, so we're going to make this one, the last sock we're going to make. And I'm putting the funnel in. Remember how we did this? It's really pretty easy. Just looking around the house, finding what you could fill it with. Make sure it's not anything too hard because you don't want to have it hit your brother or sister or dog or cat or something and bump into them and hurt them. So that's why it should be like rice. That's squishy. And this you can just sit and you can play with, and that's kind of fun. The peas, actually, that was kind of fun. That's different. You'll have to try that. So let's see what happens with macaroni. I don't know. I've never made one with macaroni before. Let's check it out. I just was looking around the house to see what we could possibly fill it up with. Here we go. Now I've opened, this is a box. The other ones were bags. I'm going to fill it in here. Now that's taking a little while longer to get in down the funnel because they're bigger and the hole is smaller. So I might have to do this a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is feeling very lumpy. All right, so I'm gonna shake it a little bit to get that down there. Go down, macaroni. Can you see how it's still stuck right there? And shake, 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 shake. There it goes, it's going. My goodness. Maybe I put too much in there. Oh, it's almost finished. It's almost down there. See, just a couple pieces. There we go. Whew, that was an ordeal. All right, so now can you see how lumpy it is through that sock? That's kind of funny. All right, I'm gonna tie it up. And then, that's right, I'm going to put a hair thing on it, a hair tie, just to make sure it doesn't open up. Just twist it one more time. And don't make it too tight. Let it be a little loose so you can play with it and squish it. No, that is funny. Can you see the lumps? Because this is the one with the macaroni. This feels really weird. I'll have to bring this to school. And the next time I see you, you'll have to check it out. But we made a sensory rice bag with macaroni. We made one with peas, dry peas, and we made one with rice. This is really what the recipe was, to make a rice bag. But we changed it up a little bit because sometimes you don't have all the ingredients, but you can take an old sock, if mom says it's okay or dad says it's okay. Make sure it doesn't have a hole in it. Fill it with something that mom and dad say it's okay, because it needs to be something dry, little dry things like that, like rice or peas or beans. Maybe you have some dry beans, that would work too. I put macaroni here just to mix it up a little bit. And then make some kind of a funnel so you can put it in there and tie it up. And that's a great toy. We've just made fun toys. And we can play all kinds of fun games with math or reading with your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers. I don't think it's a good idea to let the dog get this because he'll put a hole in the sock and then, oh my goodness, big mess. But that's fun. So now you know how to make a sensory rice bag, and you can make one at home and you can play with it. Won't that be fun? All right, I'm gonna go now. See you later.